Ladies and gentlemen, the atmosphere in Nigeria's political space is heating up again as a new wave of discussion surrounds the long and controversial detention of Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, known as IPOB. Recently, a statement started making rounds on social media claiming that the Supreme Council for Sharia sent a strong message to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, demanding the immediate release of Nnamdi Kanu, warning that failure to do so could lead to serious consequences. Now, this report caught fire very fast online. It spread through WhatsApp groups, Facebook posts, X, what we used to call Twitter, and even made its way into small radio discussions in some communities. People were saying, "Did you hear that? The Sharia Council told Tinubu to release Kanu immediately." And as you can imagine, that kind of news can spark tension. But as we take a deeper look, it's very important to separate what is actually true from what is social media noise. Because in Nigeria today, one small headline can turn into national confusion within minutes. So let's talk carefully and look at what is really going on. First, Nnamdi Kanu's court case is still active in the Federal High Court in Abuja. This is not a rumor. This is verified. The court has been hearing his case over alleged terrorism-related charges, and there have been multiple appearances. Recently, the court fixed November 20th, 2025 as the date for judgment in his case. That means the country is only days away from a legal turning point in this long story. Kanu, during some of his appearances, even refused to open his defense, saying the court had no jurisdiction to try him. The judge, in turn, warned that if he continues to refuse to defend himself, the court will move on and give its ruling based on the law and the evidence presented so far. That's serious, because once the court gives a final judgment, it could either free him, keep him in detention, or open the way for an appeal. Now, let's talk about this so-called message from the Sharia Council. The claim was that the council sent a direct warning to President Tinubu saying, "Release him now or face consequences." Many social media accounts posted this, making it sound like an official threat from a major religious body. But when we checked the real official sources, there's no confirmed statement like that from the Supreme Council for Sharia. In fact, the most recent verified statement from that council, which appeared in reputable newspapers, was not even about Nnamdi Kanu. It was about another political issue involving alleged bias against the INEC chairman. So, that makes this supposed ultimatum look more like a twisted social media version of reality, something that someone may have written to cause drama or to stir political emotion. And this is why, my people, we must be careful with what we read and share online. Nigeria is already a sensitive environment. Ethnic, religious, and political tensions are high. So when people hear that a major Islamic body is issuing warnings to the president about a case tied to a separatist movement, it can easily create fear or anger. That's why it's so important to confirm facts before spreading them. But while this particular headline may not be accurate, the bigger discussion around Nnamdi Kanu's detention is very real. Many voices across the country, from human rights groups to traditional rulers to political elders, have been calling for the government to consider either releasing Kanu or at least finding a peaceful resolution. They say his detention continues to create unrest in the southeast region, affecting both security and the economy. For example, business owners in cities like Onitsha, Aba, and Owerri have repeatedly complained that every time there's court news about Kanu, people stay indoors. Transport is disrupted, markets close early, and even schools sometimes shut down. So, it's not just about politics, it's also about the day-to-day lives of ordinary Nigerians. At the same time, the government says it must follow due process. The presidency and security agencies have often made it clear that they will not release him outside legal channels because they see the matter as a serious national security issue. So, we have two sides: the call for peace and dialogue and the call for the rule of law. Now, let's pause for a moment. If you're watching this and enjoying how we're breaking this down, clearly and respectfully, please hit that like button right now and subscribe to this channel. That small action helps the channel grow and keeps us bringing you balanced, verified news, not gossip, not fake headlines. All right, back to the gist. Let's imagine for a moment that a council like the Supreme Council for Sharia had actually made that demand. What would that mean for Nigeria? It would be a big deal because it would show that a powerful religious institution is stepping into a political and legal case. That could raise questions about the line between religion and government and could easily be misinterpreted across different parts of the country. You could have people in the southeast saying, "Why is a northern Islamic group talking about our leader?" And people in the north saying, "Why is this case still dragging?" You see how quickly division could spread. That's why clarity is key. So far, no official release him or else statement exists from the council. What exists are calls for fairness, justice, and peace. Messages that every Nigerian can support. Now, let's go deeper into the political side. President Tinubu's administration is facing pressure from many angles. Economically, the country is struggling with inflation, fuel prices, and unemployment. Security challenges continue in several regions. So, this Nnamdi Kanu issue adds another layer of complexity. How Tinubu handles it could shape how Nigerians judge his leadership, especially on issues of national unity. There are also people who believe that releasing Kanu could actually calm the southeast and help the government focus on bigger national problems. Others argue that if the government releases him without a clear legal basis, it might look like weakness or political compromise. It's a delicate balance. And you know what makes it even more complicated? Every time this case comes up, social media catches fire. Hashtags trend. Rumors fly. Old videos are re-uploaded as if they are new. And in this digital age, perception often spreads faster than reality. But the truth is, whether you support or oppose Kanu's release, the legal system must be respected. The court has already set a judgment date, November 20th. That's not far. So, until then, the best thing is for Nigerians to stay calm and allow the process to play out. I want you to tell me in the comments, what do you think will happen on November 20th? Do you think the court will release him, or do you think the case will continue? Drop your opinion below, but please, let's keep it peaceful and respectful. And again, if you're getting value from this talk, kindly like this video and subscribe now. It really supports this work and ensures more people get accurate updates, not misinformation.